Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Good evening.
Very warm good evening to all of you.
Good evening,
Today,
sir.
105th Sunday Sahityak Satsang. And I welcome you, all the executive committee members of iSPELL. I warmly welcome Dr. Captain Indrani, today's keynote speaker. I welcome today's chairperson, Dr. Shweta Bajpai from Nagpur. Also, we have the Master of Ceremonies, E. Arun Kumar, and all the esteemed participants. Today, I just take this opportunity to introduce today's resource person. It gives me a great pleasure to introduce the Master of Ceremonies of the event, E. Arun Kumar, a postgraduate from Erode and Arts and Science College affiliated to Bharatiya University. He is an assistant professor of English at Nanda Arts and Science College, Erode, Tamil Nadu. He is a passionate teacher who takes pride in shaping the personality traits of students, focusing on skills, abilities, and critical thinking. His area of interest comprises Indian writing in English, English language teaching, cultural studies, and African literature. He is a soft skill and English language trainer also. He has participated and presented research papers in national and international seminars and conferences. Once again, I take this opportunity to welcome and invite such a dynamic personality at our platform to compare today's Sunday Sahityak Satsang. Welcome, sir. Hand over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pramod, sir. So, good evening, all. It's an immense pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to the respective dignitaries, keynote speaker, Lieutenant Dr. Indrani M.R., Chairman Dr. Sweta, and Dr. Ashok Sachdeva, Vice President, iSPELL, and all the participants in this 150th iSPELL Forum. Hope this virtual platform feasibly will bring more genuine aspects to embellish our dictionary. iSPELL is a society established with a motto, facilitate to elevate, the taste and bliss in the field of English language and literature. Considering emerging trends in the field, it is the need of the art to blend the trends and men to the minds. iSPELL is people's platform to share and impact expertise of renowned academician and of its member to the fraternity and the stakeholders. The society believes that one can improve and elevate their abilities once opportunity are made available. Potential is always there. The need is to bring it out from the margin to the center. With these notes, I honor to introduce Lieutenant Dr. Indrani M.R., who is going to address on dissemination of values through English language and literature. Lieutenant Dr. M.R. Indrani, Assistant Professor of English and Associate NCC Officer, SBRR, Mahajana First Grade College, Mysore, Karnataka, who is a nodal officer, soft skills trainer, writer, and poetess, who has 18 years of teaching experience, and her area of interest is travel literature, theories, literary genre, English language, and soft skills. She is a soft skill trainer and facilitator for leadership, and human resource development. She has published 6 articles in international journal and presented 22 papers at state, national, international. Also, she has attended 152 seminars, conferences, also 26 workshops till date. As a resource person and chief guest and chief speaker, she has delivered 379 lectures in various disciplines. She has organized 11 international peace conferences and 8 state, international, and international student exchange program. As a poet, she published many poems, contributed research chapters, and shortly bringing out anthology titled When the Silence Speaks, etc. She has been chaired many literary sessions in webinar, delivered special lectures. She has been awarded Global Femino Excellence Award on 8 March 2022 for her outstanding contribution in leadership and management by Dr. Kalam International Foundation. Also, she has been awarded for Merit of Excellence in November 2022. The Best Professor of Indian Icon Award in October 2021. She has been conferred with Deputy Director General Commendation Award in February 2019. Also, she has been awarded for Best Teacher, etc. She is a member of Board Examination, Question Paper Setter, Evaluator, and member of Studies Forming Syllabus. Also, she is the Region Head, South Karnataka iSPELL Forum. I wholeheartedly invite Lieutenant Dr. Indrani, ma'am. Ma'am, it's over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Arun.
Thank you, ma'am.
It really gives me immense pleasure to be a part of iSPELL and especially delivering a lecture over here. I feel very proud and happy to be here amidst all these elite academicians. A very good evening to everyone present over here. Today's topic is dissemination of values through English language and literature. We as teachers have a great role to play. I would like to quote Albert Einstein's words, "Try not to become a person of success, but rather try to become a person of value." This is what, as a teacher, we have a great role to play. And you all are a part of this. And hence I feel a bit shiver to speak about the particular topic. But yet, let me just contribute few things to enhance. Some of my students are also here in this platform. So I felt that why not? Taking up this particular topic will really matter a lot. Since the time of Asphos fables, Arabian stories, stories of Alibaba or Panchatantra, moral values were taught through these kinds of stories, poems, or other forms of literature. From time immemorial, all the religious holy books were the true path showers. The ancient tales of Panchatantra and fables are still inseparable from life and the fictional lives, and the fantasies of literature have always affected us from time immemorial and keep on influencing our life and moral sense. We as teachers, literary teachers, teachers of humanities, we have a great role in imparting the education, moral education to students as it is a need of an hour. Literature can be utilized in a multi-dimensional approach for improving society, behavioral development, problem-solving skills, and the right attitude to handle social situations. By narrowing it can be said that literature can be used to nurture and enhance moral literacy. My presentation today is based on that. May I request Pramod sir to present the PPT, to share the screen. Thank you so much, sir. I would like to quote Dr. Abdul Kalam's words on higher education. He said, "Every young soul is endowed with unique characters and enormous creativity. Unfortunately, it is today imprisoned and is confined to classrooms." So when it is confined to classroom, it is the role of a teacher where we can within the classroom, what best could be given, we can impart those things is my presentation today. Given the freedom to achieve and guide it properly, I am convinced the young of India can accomplish more. So this is what Dr. Abdul Kalam sir says, that the young mind needs a great grooming. And today we are here to do that through higher education process. So next. What is the value of literature? Why should we give these things is my part. We see that choosing to sell of those aspects, it is not just the education we are giving, along with that, we are giving those highest values, which is very, very necessary. Literature is the spectrum of society. Literature, from time immemorial, has involved students of all ages. The truth or function of literature is to teach and to delight. It means that literature has its origin in delight, but its end is in offering wisdom to its readers. And as a teacher and as a learner, we have a role where we impart those things to the students. Literature facilitates students to understand and appreciate diverse culture and universal human passions such as love, anger, jealousy, and greedy, etc. So next. And India, individual personality tries to control and balance its characters, attitude, and tricks, psychological traits, beliefs, and motives which make his or her identity. So, what is that important thing in undergraduate or in postgraduate? What we can give is make an individual, make a student to understand what is his identity, what is his individuality, how these reading can actually play on them with the psychological patterns of an individual, where we will learn about his thoughts, emotions, and feelings to be expressed. Literature and English language can improve an individual in all spheres of his life, is what I'm supporting today. When we speak about introduction to English literature, we come across so many other things. It is not just a poem, it's not just poetry, it's not just a novel, a short story, but along with that, there are many, many other things. So next. What is importance of literature here? Reading and studying literature is very important for various reasons as outlined below. Literature improves your command of language. It teaches you about the life, cultures, and experiences of people in other parts of the world. It gives you information about other parts of the world which you may never be able to visit in a lifetime. This is what I've quoted and from Shimmer Chinodia. If we come across what is this literature actually means, this is one. In short, I would like to put it across. Literature, L stands for lifelong learning. I stands for intuitive insight, where this is very important. The insight, what actually we speak about, is not only the journey, it is a journey within and outside world too. T stands for theater of life, and E stands for enriching education. The novels, what we teach, the short stories, what we teach, all the poems might be the emotions, the ideas, thoughts, and expressions of somebody else. But life is a life for each one of us. When we speak about these things, it is really an enriching education and radical richness, artistry of form and language. And T stands for truth and the telling. And truth, though great writers have told, it is poetry is imitation of truth, but yet it is truth where it has its own importance. Q stands for undeniable, pleasurable one. It is true, we always believe in books are the best friends. Reading, what kind of reading, it depends on an individual, but definitely books are the best friends. Art stands for rapturous appreciation. Okay, whether we love it or we don't, but sometimes we always feel we start seeing things through somebody else's eyes, through somebody else's feelings. through somebody else's thoughts. But why not? We to start thinking on that particular way is what appreciation of literary aspects. E stands for ephemera in experience, and it is a moment of that sudden and great revelation or realization, and sometimes it is needed. So I always put it across telling that studying literature, it is an insightful journey to know many, many things, whether we have experienced it or whether we have felt it. So next. So the genres I would like to quote over here, it is the literary genres. When we speak literature, the main part of it is prose, drama, poetry, where under prose we have short story, novella, novel. Under drama we have comedy, tragedy. Under poetry, it is epics, ballads, lyrical poetry, blank verse, like free verse, all these things are part. So what actually next is what we are going to learn. These are the basic things which we know it, but how to put it across to the students? What are the values we can teach through language is what I have taken up the syllabus which Mysore University has prescribed. Karnataka is one such state which has accepted NEP policies, and based on these NEP policies 20, there are certain poems, short stories, and certain essays which has been prescribed along with language components. So based on this, my presentation will go on like this. So next. The content of poem, what is poem and what is the content of poetry? Everything is suitable in poetic material. There is no restrictions. We all know what are the features of poetry. Short lines, it is just a spontaneous overflow of thoughts, emotions, and imagination. So it is suitable for any such material which is needed, could be put it across the poetry. The crucial substance of poetry is its human relevance and the philosophic truth it reveals. I do understand that each one of us who are teachers over here, students who are here, will agree my words when I say human values, human relevance, and the philosophic truth. It is the real revealing aspects, those hidden feelings, those unexpressed emotions, those secrets within us will come out in the form of writing. The content of all poetry that is considered authentic is revealed from a point of view that universal and enduring. So all these emotions are universal and we can put it across in the way. But as I told you, poetry is one such expression where interpretation could be different. It could be in the mindset of an individual to understand how the poetry is. So we cannot enforce a student to understand poetry the way a poet has expressed. And I, as a teacher, cannot enforce the students also to understand that poetry is this, and you have to understand like this only. So here it is that universal aspects, that universal revealing things is put across to poetry. The content of poetry recognizes the paradoxical nature of man and the tensive forces under which he moves. It could be the fluctuation of moods, it could be his emotions, how he has understood, or it could be those things which is expressed in the form of words. And poetry as its word, art of words, and we have to learn that it is to reach to the other hearts. I would like to take up one particular such poem when it comes over here, which has been prescribed to our University of Mysore. Polonius' advice to his son. This is about all a poem, which is it is an extract from which is written by William Shakespeare. This above all to thine own self be true. This is from Act 1, Scene 3, that Polonius is doling out sage advice to his son Laritz. And overall, Polonius' advice helps reveal a theme of irony that threads throughout the play. Neither Polonius nor Laritz heeds the advice that Polonius gives in the scene, and both perish. This is a poem. What all we can do? It is an advice given to a son, and he tells, as a father, as a mother, we all do groom our children. We all want to give the best to our children. We all want our children to be the best one in the society and to make their own identity. So next. So here, Polonius advises his son to listen more and speak less. We know today those listening ears have gone, and it is only we listen and we watch all those wrong things which has been put across. We never judge to listen to it. So it is always necessary that through this poem, we can teach, we can guide a young son who is actually, it is not just a word of peace where Polonius is advising his son, but it is a real advice which every parent would give to their children, telling that there are many components which we can cover in this particular poem, and 1 hour is not enough to explain this poem. Polonius advised to his son. So here we see that he tells to his son, "Oh, my dear son, just you have to listen more and speak less." The father asks him to receive criticism from all, but receive his opinion to himself. So this is what it is. We always criticize the people. We always criticize everybody over around us. We always feel that we are perfect, Mr. and Mrs. Perfect. We do accept all our wrong things. We do accept that we love ourselves more, though we have certain drawbacks. But why not? We accept people who are around us. Changing their intentions might be different, but why not try to change through our words, through our behavior, through our attitude is what Polonius advises to his son. He should have habits which can be afforded by himself, and he asks his son to buy rich clothes, but not gaudy one, where it is not a cloth is to cover oneself, but it is not to show to the society how pompy, how branded I am, and how brand clothes I am wearing. Clothes are just a piece which covers our body, but we should not cover our mindset. We should not cover our emotions. We should present ourselves to the society in the way where the society accepts us. So here, his most piece of advice is not to, the most important one, which I loved, I have quoted here, is that he advises his son, "Oh, my dear son, do not lend or borrow money because lending leads to loss of money and even friends also." Today, we are in the society where materialistic world, we are running a race. It is a real marathon race we are running, and we don't know where we are heading towards. So money is important, but money is not everything. People are important, and what kind of people we choose and what kind of people we live along with them, that is more important than other things. So materialistic world, it is just a world which actually lives. So here, the lines I have just taken it over here. This is another poem, "Death Be Not Proud," written by John Donne. As you all know, that John Donne is a metaphysical poet, and he is one who actually resumes himself that ambitious, optimistic views we could see over here. In this poem, he speaks about that a group that is those words he put it across. It is structured around the central paradox of Christianity that Christ's sacrifice will bring about the demise of death, but directly addressed to personified death over here. I would like to read out the lines which is given here. "Death, be not proud, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so. Death, be not proud, thou some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so. For those whom thou thinkful thou doubts overthrow, die not, poor death, nor yet can't thou kill me." How positive, how optimistic John Donne is when he's speaking about death. We are scared of death. And here he speaks, death, you don't feel proud about yourself because you are not mighty and strong. You are just a puppet in the hands of other incidents, he tells. So here in this poem, death personified, and the sonnets try to downplay the role in the plays by asserting that its primary function is singularly self-defeating. However, ironically, the sonnet attempts to suggest that death makes God's job simpler by ensuring that all individuals attain eternal life. So here, not to be proud, but it is just a short sleep where. So why not through this poem we can actually tell the students to be strong, to be optimistic. The tentative minds of youngsters are so much disturbed today. They are in cluttered thoughts that they are unable to take decision when it comes. Problem solving has become a greatest threat in their life, and most of them they surrender to death. So here, this particular poem.
Hello.
Ma'am, your voice is not audible.
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. So he speaks about that God job is simpler has become, and here the positive attitude should be filled in the young minds. The next poem is The Soul Selects Our Own. Say it is done. You want me to come again to this, sir? Okay. The next poem is The Soul Selects Our Own Society, a female attitude, of feministic views, which we see through this poem. We can just speak about these aspects over here, which tells about an individual once again. The short analysis of this in this meditation on the nature of the human soul, Emily Dickinson depicts that the soul of the feminine entity, and that entity has that freedom and liberty to select our own soul. But what is this all about? I've pleased immediately about death be not proud, and next one is because the soul is one which is eternal. The soul is separate from and indifferent to your that physical part, and a claim for attention is the importance of this poem. The soul chooses for unknowable reasons a single person to share a society or a company and rejects all others. This is what I want to tell you all, that we have to teach students, the young minds, the pillars of a society, the nation power, the assets of a nation, that you have the choice to select your own. And how will you come across the society? How will you select these particular things? And how is that you go along with us is what the poem teaches about. The values over here is that, sir, next one. Another poem is, as it tells, it is about what is barter? According to commercialized one, we say it is give and take. What is that to give and take? This is a poem written by Sarah Teasdale. So in this poem, so next. In this poem, he tells about what has to be given and what has to be expected from others. Life is loveliness to sell, all beautiful and splendid things. These are the lines quoted from the poem. And look at those beautiful pictures where speaks about, yes, the world is beautiful. Life is beautiful. Life is to love and live. And life has loveliness to sell, and all the beautiful and splendid things which is it has in it are those aspects. So just give, because the best will come back to you. So let us teach youngsters those values, that you give, what you give will come back to you. You give the good thing, the best thing will come back to you. Give the bad thing to the society, the worst will come back to you. And later, you will be commenting about the society that these are the worst things I have seen, and how bad the world is, how worse the world is. But actually, it is not like that. We have all those intentions, we have all those particular nature within us, that we can create our own world. We can create a beautiful world along with this. That is what Sarah would like to tell through this poem, that life has loveliness to sell and all beautiful and splendid things. Let us teach students tonight. Let us teach students to love each and everything. Let us teach them that life is to love and live and let live. So the world is created by us. The society is created by us. So let us live by creating that beauty and the bounty of the life. So next one. Eyes that loves you, arms that hold you, I would like to speak about the family over here, which is a great backup, and we stay along with them. And which family is it she is speaking about? She speaks about the society as one family. She speaks about the family where we are secured, we are safeguarded by many sweethearts along around us. So, eyes that love you, the arms that hold you, it is this life we have to owe to those people who have helped us, who have supported us. The lubricants of life is to say sorry, to thank, and to have please in us. So why not we hold all these things, and through these poems, why not we teach them that it is very important. So Eyes That Loves You and this. This is another beautiful poem which I really love a lot, and where it is from the same poem, but what has to be given, what has to be taken. Today we live in the world of darkness. We have people around us, but what is that? Those people are not true to themselves, neither true to others. The world is so fake, and we are wearing masks and living in this world. We pretend to be happy, actually, we are not. So, here, this particular poem speaks about these things, wherein for you, spirit still delight, holy thoughts that star the night. So, here, we have to fill in that spirit of living, and the Holy Spirit's, the spiritual delight, which actually gives, is one which I would like to quote through this particular poem. How can we forget this particular poem, Partition, which is written by W.H. Auden? Dating back, we have many such literary genres. We have war poems, and there are many such writings which has been written. It is not that only Indian poems I'm quoting, certain other things also I have here in future slides, where Partition, which speaks about love. The theme of this particular poem is love, religion, politics, and social concern and citizenship. When we speak about the themes of that, we should understand where Auden says we must love one another or die. He says, I'll repeat those words, we must love one another or we should die. Sir, next. Right? So this is a message he gives. If equal affection cannot be done, let the more loving one be me. So why not we create that world where only love has been given, and it comes back again. You all might have felt, or we all might have felt in this particular world, that it is very tough. It is a roller coaster ride. Life is a roller coaster ride. But with this ride, we can always feel secured only when loved ones are there along with us. So here, Auden's words, we speak about this, that we must love one another or we must die. Or if not, you're not able to give it, give such things where live and let live, and let's teach students this concept. Now we'll move on to another very beautiful poem, Arun Kolatkar's Ajmal and Tigers. Ajmal and Tiger, this is a poem, it's a political satire, it's a moral fable. A shepherd who makes a deal with the Tiger King. They represent corrupt politicians. The sheep represents the masses or public. The sheepdog represents the army. Ajmal sacrifices few of his sheep to maintain a cordial relationship with the tigers. I hope most of us might have read this particular poem, and you have to understand we are under the clutches of these corrupt worlds. I don't want to pick up any such controversial topics, either about religion, either about politics, because we know politics is the best one, but politicians are bad. And why actually we have these things? It is once again, let us teach our students that we have the right to elect and select a leader, and let the leader be the one who leads the mass. Let him be the one who represents the masses or the public. So here, Atimus sacrifices few of his sheep, yes, but for what? to maintain that good relationship. It doesn't mean that we have to compromise with certain things, but here the concept which is being put across, it is a satire against the present political class, and let us teach how effectively a poet can convey the concept through this writing. So, next. This is a short story written by Hans Christian Andersen. A beautiful short story. It is about a tree, right? Learning is a continuous process, and we can learn even from each and everything around us. I remember the speech which has been given by one of Ramakrishna Ashram Swamiji, who tells, look at this hall, look at this room. Everything what is placed over here teaches us one or the other thing. And this particular fir tree short story teaches us how we look at the world, and we should not be greedy and be happy with what we have and cherish every moment. So what is this? A short story. So next. This short story speaks about the determination how a small short story like a fir tree starts growing. It grows amidst the tall trees and taller and tallest trees. Only the tallest trees were cut and for a purpose. But there was that curiosity in this little tree which feels that why are these tall trees have been cut? And for that, it starts dreaming about probably there is another world, and that is what it starts determining itself that, oh, I would get. And it never enjoys the moment which it lives. It doesn't enjoy the sunlight which falls on it. It doesn't enjoy the children playing around it. The small tree, fig tree, doesn't enjoy every moment standing over here. Instead, it went on thinking about the taller trees and the tallest trees. So your fig tree symbolizes determination, honesty, and the endurance that comes with hope for the future. It carries the hope during challenges, and it speaks about it, that how well that we can cherish the moment. Let us teach the younger ones that live for the moment, cherish the moment, and enjoy and give the best what could be given. Here is another beautiful story. It is written by the great short story writer, O. Henry. Romance of a Busy Broker. This particular short story is one which begins where, with the observations when his employees, it is a story between an employer and an employee. And he comments, he is one boss who actually comments about all those who are working under him. And he likes so his own secretary there. And he comments, and she dresses in a very simple manner. The busy broker, he actually likes her. And this story speaks about it. With his secretary, he falls in love and he gets married. But under his busy work schedule, he forgets that he is married to her. And here, she was that beautiful in that way, was what it speaks about here. The poet, the writer, speaks about that beauty lies in the eyes of an individual, but he tells that yesterday too you had called, and these are the conversation I've just put across. So next. Okay, what is that we actually think is here, our teachers, that we have to learn to oneself how amidst a busy world, we forget the family, we forget those relationships, we forget those arts which rely upon us, we forget those duties and responsibilities which we actually should give upon, like which should be executed in our smaller circle. As a teacher, we have those roles. We people, the students rely upon us, and we have to believe that these particular aspects are such important things that we have to learn. And amidst the busy schedule, we have to give that importance to society as well as oneself. Here is another one. Can you all guess which poem is this? So, yeah, this is what I wanted you all to guess. I met a traveler from an antique land who said, two vast trunkless legs of stone. Can you all guess? If yes, you can put it up in the chat box. Okay, so this is the next slide. This is Ozymandias and a beautiful story, a poem which actually speaks about that unseen one. I met life is a journey. We keep traveling, we keep meeting people. And two vast trunkless legs of stones we see there, it is buried and the statue is scattered. And when it is scattered, sir, next slide, we see that if it is the poem, it isn't just about how really big the statue eventually succumbed to a ravages of time, but the statue is a symbol of Ozymandias' ambition, the pride, and an absolute power. And thus, the poem also implies that kingdoms and political regimes will eventually crumble one day, leaving no traces of their existence except perhaps pathetic statues that no longer even have torsos. So here we can teach or we can give those values to the students that life is to live. And in this travel journey, we meet many, many people, but leave those traces where people, the footprints, what you live should be followed, and it should carry that legacy where people should follow the others. The next one. I'm just rushing towards these things because there are many other slides which speaks about drama and other things. So I'm just rushing towards it. Nothing is stable in this world. So the previous one. Nothing is stable in this world. Everything is subject to change and decay. The poem conveys the concept, state of human lives. Rich or poor, mighty or weak, everyone have to live this world. That time does not spare even the king of the kings is what the message given in the Ozymandias poem. So next. Here is another poem which speaks about if. The title of the poem is If, written by Rudyard Kipling. And here he speaks about the prayer of life. What is that last psalm of life we see here? Henry Wordsworth, Longfellow, or it is that who has contributed to the life. A psalm is a religious and a sacred song, and life is one which is a sacred song. Though it is a biblical book of psalms, but yet, and it is used in the Christian and Jewish worship, but the poem is didactic in nature, containing that political and moral message in the tone. So, yeah, so next. So in this poem, what is that we can learn, we can tell to the students is what? Be honest to yourself. And if and in what you do and believe in your words, if is such word, a word which can be positive or negative, but it fills in that confidence within you. Without integrity and character, we can never achieve our true potential. Kipling also advises us to stay humble in all that we do and never breathe a word about your loss, is what he tells. He also mentions that it is best not to deal in lies and give way to the hatredness. And if you understand these particular things, so definitely life becomes very beautiful. So next. Another important aspect over here, it is the poem's title. I know each one of us, any English professor or a teacher might have read this beautiful poem written by Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken. The road is a symbol of choice made by us in life. Let us tell students, this is a crucial moment. You have all diversion, multiple diversions you have, and select the one which is needed, the best one. Many times we regret the choice we make, but it is done once, cannot be undone. Man regrets for what he has denied himself in life rather than what he has chosen. Hence, the poet has given him his poem the title, The Road Not Taken. The word road not only means a way, but it also means a journey or a stage of journey. Your road does not signify any ordinary road, but functions a metaphor of a vital decision in our life. So here, a beautiful poem which actually speaks about this road not to be taken and what is the result and what is that, where do we land up if a wrong path is selected. So once done is undone, a famous dialogue you might be knowing, and that is what he tells over here. Robert Frost's poem is, that is what the seems to hold out the mortal that life is a continuous journey full of divergence now and then. The important thing is to move on without looking back whether the choice of the path taken was right or wrong. The right or wrong are relative terms. We cannot get everything in life and have to make choices. Whatever direction in our life takes it determined by the choice made by us. And in the journey of life, one can seldom come back to travel the roads not taken earlier. The message is very, very easy and simple, but to understand the concept and to make a young mind to understand how difficult it is to select a wrong path is what is a great challenge to every teacher. So next. This is another important one. And we as an individual, we all have that tempest within us, that confusions within us, those perplexed mind within us, those chaos mindset, those ambiguity, all these things have been put across by William Shakespeare's drama, The Tempest. As I told you, I have just got across to these things that many such dramas, what we have learned, it could be the tragedies, it could be tragic comedies, or the individual where William Shakespeare is writing the Bard of Avon. He is one who has contributed, though he is not here, but he lives along with us. He lives amidst us till the writing, till we literary lovers are there. So next. And in this particular play, we see that mercy and forgiveness. Wow, how important this in our life too. How many of us forgive things which is already done? Yes, done cannot be undone, but yet forgiving and forgetting is should be a concept. This particular play speaks about it, and where Prospero deals with those who have wronged him, he forgives both Antonio and Alonso by not exposing their treacherous plot to kill Alonso. Can we also think of these things? Can we get along with this concept of forgiveness, forgiving those people who do wrong around us? But the mercy and forgiveness is what Tempest teaches us. A simple one, but yet here we see the relationship between a father and a daughter and how he convinces, how he takes care of her, and how Miranda is such beautiful girl who falls in love with Ferdinand and how she manages, okay, the way she innocently expresses it, how easy it is for a girl to fall in love by saying it, but once we fall, it is impossible to raise, is what I would like to say. So, next one. I hope you could guess which particular play is this. A great writer, a great philosopher, right? And can you all guess this? A play from Victorian period. So next. Yes, it is Christopher Marlowe's Dr. Faustus. The conflict within and outside, the conflict between evil and good. This is what the message which gives and the value which teaches here. Once again, I have placed it over here because once a road taken cannot be changed. But once you take it, see to that you land up in such a way that it is highly appreciated. Dr. Faustus provides a clear-cut message that the cost of sin is always higher than its potential benefits, and the salvation of one's soul matters more than the ability to fly. The conflict within and outside, as I told you, it is a warning against hubris. He ignores Christian teachings as well as the advice of angels throughout the play. And what is the consequence he faces over there? See, to my academicians, a learned one, I would like to put it across that Every step is a learning one, but when we learn, don't compromise the best things for the worst things. When you know, when your sixth sense matters, when it tells you that, yes, there is a wrong thing which is going to happen. So we have to keep it in mind that, yes, let us be very cautious stepping ahead. One step can lead you into pit, or one step can lead you, raise you very high. That is what Christopher Marlowe's Dr. Foster's gives us. The next. Yes. So here is another Indian writer, R.K. Narayan, the financial expert. It is a novel which speaks about an expert, financially expert. Life is also commercialized these days. So next. So in this novel, we see that he speaks about how a man can commercialize himself, how he can lead his life by trading, by keeping certain ideas. And the characters over here is Margaya, Arul Das, Balu, Dr. Pal, Brinda, and Madan Lal. So next. And every character here plays a very important role. Margaya is not just a person who wants to help out financially to the people. He was not just a money lender, but beyond that, he teaches every individual what is a business communication. What are those objectives a business communication should have? How does he manage people around him? So communication is the way management gets a job done. And good manager are usually good communicators, and executives in the present day business world are not only highly skilled, but also more articulative than any other professional. So business communication will express this management and this communication, how important it is actually to us to know about it. So the power of communication through these writings, not only a poem, not only I'm speaking about this novel, but I'm speaking about those important aspects of what every piece of art can teach us, every piece of literature can teach us. The power of communication, which holds us the relationship, it also holds even the values, and it holds the people around us, and it gives that success and even that loyalty. And all these things we can express only through the power of communication. So next. So yeah, what are those things we learn? It is those best communication skills. As I told you, it is a teamwork in the college. It is such particular work which actually we know, but the presentation skill matters a lot. And R.K. Narayan's R.K. Narayan's, the financial expert speaks about it, that presentation skill, negotiable skill, business writing skill, and influencing skill, then cross-cultured communication, win and win conversation, which is very, very important in our day-to-day life, then selling skills. And today it's a great challenge when the whole society is when the whole education policies are looking towards the skill-based oriented education. We see selling skill is also important. And what skills could be sold through literature and language is very important. Today, the world is open only through English language, and it is a window to reach out to others. And all these are the concept which has been taught to us by these literary piece of work. What are those points we can remember while communicating? Let us teach not only the literary aspects, let us not that only the emotions of an individual about the writer, but let us teach those methods of communication where the polite language really matters a lot in society. As I told you, the rubricants of life, saying sorry, thank you, and please, is those which could hold our relationship very high in the society. People to whom you talk in a very friendly way, with whom you hold this good relationship, that positive vibe you feel when you meet an individual is what, and create that document with care, present the document with good impressions of efficiency and reliability, and use this format with a neat, easy to read and structured logically. And for the fourth semester in University of Mysore, we have, it is prescribed to them, business communication, business correspondence, where we teach them letter writings, offer letters, placing an order, then complaint letters, adjustment, clearance letters. So too many other letters. We do teach the final fourth semester English language students, and those languages are very important, the formal language and an informal language. How official the language should be, how we should carry our individuality, how to present oneself is what we learn through these particular chapters. So yeah, so what are those, the parameters of life we have to understand? We see that every successful person has a painful story, and every painful story has a successful ending. So why not we teach the students through literary piece of work that every writing has its own meaning. Don't just learn and read for the sake of exam purpose, but learn to elevate yourself. Learn to elevate oneself with those commonalities. Learn to live with those views that there are people who observe you. There are people with whom you have to communicate. There are those hearts which actually speak about it, and enhancing and grooming one's outer and inner self to bring about a positive change to your life is very important. So here the parameters of teaching those values over there, or values through English language and literature, is that we have to enhance and groom an individual in such a way that to fill in that positive energy which could build their life in future. Then a tool that helps us to realize your capabilities and your strength, making you stronger, happier, and a cheerful person. So to be, what is that? Why do we live? We live to live. And what kind of living we have to select? We have to select that kind of living which gives meaningful one, where people do say, yes, he has lived in a very meaningful way. The legacy will live should be one. There is a short story. It is The Devoted Son, very beautifully written, where you could see that a devoted son, a son should be like him, but the difference of opinion which goes, though the son is the best son for the society, but for his own father, he was not the best son. Only thing is that there would be expectation. There would be certain, what you call it as, like expecting from others, which actually hurt us. So let us not expect many things from people, but instead, let us start giving what we want. We always want some certain things which we don't have it. So why not we meet people to give what we want, so our wants could be somebody else's wants. So next. So here, let us teach all these comparative things. Some people might like William Shakespeare's writing. Some people might not like William Wordsworth's writing. Some people might not like Nizam Ezekiel's writing, but some might like Thorudat's writing. So here, it is an individual perception. We do understand. We should understand through individual perception. And here, don't allow certain things to happen in a life, because literature tells us have patience in your life. Don't compare your life with others. Don't criticize, condemn, and complain about others. Neither you underestimate yourself. Neither you criticize yourself. Most of the time, what do? We criticize ourselves. We condemn ourselves. So we have to be particular about it and never lose patience. Don't have negative thoughts, and don't encourage others to speak ill before others, because our identity will go away when we listen to those person. Somewhere he might have lost the track. Somewhere he might have literally begging. Somewhere he might have passed through those hurdles, and he might have come to you. So never speak those individual aspects. So we teachers are the ambassadors. It could be in the school level, it could be in the undergraduation level, or it could be in the level of PG. But yes, we have to understand one thing, that teachers act as a brand ambassador of a particular school, college, and other things. So being a branded ambassador, that education institution is in the hands of the teachers to maintain that parental and children relationship. Let us value that. Why is it that today we say that students are not like that they were earlier? They are not like us. For us, Guru Devo Bhava was that particular, the highest respect what we were giving was that which was acclaimed. But why is it today we don't see such mentality? There are many implications on it. There are many interference over it. And people have already accepted the change, the digital change which has come to this world. So when they have automatically adjusted themselves to this digital world, we have to understand it is easy for us to pull in these people, these students, but how? Make them to read a lot. Make them to read a lot. Let us make them to understand that this reading will definitely make them a better personality in future. So next. As I told you, a beautiful stopping by the woods. Coming to the end of these particular presentations, I would like to tell you all that the woods are dark, are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. Any English professor, any English teacher would definitely feel proud of teaching, happy of feeling that pleasure of teaching this poem to the students, stopping by the wood, evening woods. So here, we have to understand the life is a journey. It is a hard journey, and the hoods, which seems to be very, very lovely, but they are dark and very deep. Understanding there is no standardized format. There is no standardized format of statement which tells life is this. Life is this. We don't actually understand. We can't sustain ourselves only to these particular two lines. But then what? It is, we have many promises to keep and miles to go before we sleep. So we have to understand and thank our particular that person who has given the God, the creator, who has given this life to lead, and how positively we have to lead our life. So next. Right, coming to the end of it, I would like to tell you all these important aspects that, yes, the human moral values, the humanism, the kindness, honesty, the law, the justice. So the next one, sir. Any queries if they have? But before that, yes, I would like to wind it up by telling these important aspects that, yes, we have greater roles to play, as I've told you, and we as an individual should always keep these things in mind, that those values which we impart through education, today it should be attempted with the value-based education. And it's also attempts to focus on how literature can be an effective tool in nurturing the ethics of human race. So the moral values, well-ordered manner should be created through these things. And value crises have emerged due to not understanding the proper role of moral values in our human society. The feelings of mercy, sympathy, or kindness, or helping others, or holding up somebody else's hand and telling them, bringing that confidence, filling that confidence in them, telling that, yes, we are there with you, we are there to stand along with you, will always be a moral backup to an individual to see life in a different way. Let literature be a ray of hope to all others. Let this particular, the value education, which means that developing appropriate habits and the behavior involving inculcation of certain moral values and routine habits. In this connection, the role of a teacher is very, very crucial for the young minds, young children to inculcate. So let us take that, let us promise ourselves to believe in ourselves and to give the best to the students, telling that the value-based education which has become a need of an hour, and it cannot be done only by the teacher alone, but we can try it out. The first platform which we can create for them, why not we have that noble professionalist, and why not we actually, being the noble professionalist, give those best things to the people, give the best to the society by molding the young minds in the right path is what I wanted to convey. And we all are doing one or the other way. We all are doing it, but let us stress more upon these things, that teaching students how to write is not only important, but what to write is very important. What kind of a knowledge is needed? It is that understanding concept, which is very important. Then expressing concept through writing is very important. Demonstrating conceptual and textual understanding is very is very important. And those tests and exams are just a part to show them what marks they get. But beyond that, there is something which we have to give it to the students through as an literary lovers, as a literature teacher. So let us create in them the teaching conventions of academic writings. Then let us put across, there are many such. I just took some of the syllabus from other universities, from my dearest friends, from Arpit ma'am, Anupama ma'am, Shalini ma'am, and Asina ma'am, many others. I just went through those syllabus. I just felt it is all the common concepts which actually is there is writing one's own capacity, summarizing or the paraphrasing, that critical thinking, or making a student to know the synthesis, analysis, and the evolution aspects is very important. So the nature of good literature seems that life and like and to be a very meaningful one. It is caused by its focus on central themes of all literary aspects and life, truth, love, and justice. So with these words, I end up my presentation today. I don't know how far I did justice to it, but yes, I feel that we as teachers have a great role to play. And it is in our hand to mold the minds of youngsters, because they are those individuals who will rule, who will take care of the next generation which is coming. So if we give the best generation now, I think later part, we can create that beautiful world where people will live for love, they live for justice, they live for truth. And if all these things prevail, there is always peace in life, and live for peace and live and let live is what the aspects I would like to end my words. I thank iSPELL platform for giving this opportunity, and for all those members who are on this particular platform for your patience, time, and listening to me. Thank you so much. And
Thank you, ma'am.
thank you. Yes.
I request the participants can leave your questions as well as the feedback. Yeah, ma'am. Shall I ask a question, ma'am?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I actually I've put my question in the chat box, but I'm not sure whether it's visible. I can't find it here. So shall I?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. There's a French critique. Ronald Barthes has said, literature is the question minus the answer. Could you please elaborate on that? It's a question minus the answer. So that's the view of literature from his point of view. What would you suggest?
Ma'am, very beautifully put across, and it is true that
Yeah.
it is life or literature is a question in itself.
Yeah.
As I told you initially, that too many things we have already given to the students. We have already given those time immemorial, those religious aspects we have taught through writing, and with
Yeah.
all the true path where we shower all our wisdom on people, those moral instructions we have already given, we are giving as an individual, we are giving. but where these answers, okay, the questions which have been asked, it itself raises those answers within it. So here, the fantasies of those particular life, which has actually affected the young minds today. Literature, every aspect has its own views and perception. And that is what I said in my lecture, that we cannot insist students to learn the way I understand life to be. I cannot insist the student to tell that this is what this particular poem conveys the message. We cannot. The interpretation could be different. So within itself, it raises that influencing one, that influencing points it raises over there. And I do agree with the quotation which actually you have given, ma'am.
Yeah, that's exactly like, literature's purpose is to set forth a question that helps us think about the issues present in that particular work without providing an answer or a conclusion. I mean, that's a wonderful thing. That's how you also put it. And the choice of your poems and the short stories are wonderful. I mean, to bring out the function of literature. So, and I have one more thing, like if literature, the main function of literature is to delight and inform, then how can literature change the world? What's your view on that?
Like but that you are answering, you're asking this, but yet I feel very happy to answer this. Yes. But those people who love life, unlike mathematics, 2 + 2 is 4, and 2 is 0. So here, our life itself is adds and deletes and edits, and all these things is a part of it. So definitely we can change ourselves. So you might have seen, ma'am, ask any such student in your college who do they admire a lot. It is language teachers, especially such followers. Only thing is that we give them the vibrant of life to them, the various concept of life to them, and we teach them. And along with that, we connect ourselves with the students. That is a major part of it, ma'am. And we teach students that literature is not just a piece of art. Along with that, we teach them that read a literature as a piece of art, but see to that the values which actually it gives, the connectivity, the reality, what it gives, the truth of life, what it gives. So the mistake which has been done by somebody else should not be a mistake which we do commit and fall will never raise eye at all. So these are the things which we give, and we are the real examples. Literature, I don't know about other subjects. I'm not underestimating other subjects. Every subject has its own importance, but when it comes to literature, literature is a real delight. It is a real fantasy. It is a real imagination which creates a world which we have unseen. It creates that particular form where we cannot express it. Expressed and unexpressed, real and unreal. These are
herein I'd like to add one more. Like I was pretty impressed by Kailash Satyarthi's Nobel Peace Award receiving speech at Norway, where it's something that really speaks of human values. Look at the way how he brings it down to every individual to see to it that we should remove child labor. An excellent thing. So so I told my students also, each one of you take it up as a task. If you find any small children working somewhere, not going to school, you help them out. They have to. And Satyarthi says, I've seen every child with a dream. A child has a right to live, and they have their dream, and we have to help them to fulfill their dreams. So liberate them. So it's a beautiful, I don't know whether you've read that, but if you read the whole essay, it's beautiful. And such human values at the grassroots level, everybody, if they can, it'll touch their heart. And then a kind of a change that should come about in the society. I think literature will do all that.
Yes, ma'am.
So
thank you so much. It added the value to my presentation today. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. It was wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful session.
about language and literature, which brought us more knowledge. So once again, thank you so much, ma'am.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, Arun.
Thank you so much for your wonderful session, ma'am.
Thank
She
you.
brought us
Thank
more
you.
knowledge to enhance our literature as well as language.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It's a pleasant moment to welcome and introduce our chairperson, Dr. Shweta S. Bajboy, who is an assistant professor of English at Sri Bandarinath Arts and Commerce College, Nagpur. She's being an IQAC coordinator and associated with various college committee. She has 19 years of teaching experience. She has awarded PhD in 2015 from Barkatullah University, Bhopal, who has published more than 15 research papers in national, international journals, seminars, and conferences. Also, she has attended more than 30 seminars and conferences. She is a life member of NUTA Association and also of iSPELL Forum, East Maharashtra. She has been also invited for guest lectures at various colleges. She contributes herself for social work with few social organizations, and she is striving for all-round development of students of nearby Noket area. Without delay, I invite Dr. Shweta S. Bajboy. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much. At the outset, I am grateful to Dr. Ghanshyam sir, founder of iSPELL India, for providing me the honor of this chair in this session, and thankful to Dr. Anupma Vora ma'am and iSPELL Forum. It's really my pleasure here with you all. I congratulate Dr. Captain Indrani ma'am for such an estimating and fruitful deliberation. Really, your deliberation was enlightening and thoughtful, ma'am. You presented the literature and its value very well. Even every part of it in a simple language. As you said that it was really nice, ma'am. Dr. Indrani well said, well mentioned that a few old books have through which we got values and pass it to the generations. And reading and studying literature is very important for all of us. Literature genres is very vast, and you well elaborate work of Shakespeare, John Donne, W.H. Auden, Arun Kolatkar, O. Henry, P.B. Shelley, Rudyard Kipling, and all. And ma'am, it is well said that literature, the one line I just like that life has loveliness to sell, all beautiful and splendid things. And you well mentioned points to remember in communication and correspondence to teach the student. And well said that teacher's responsibility is what? Especially language or literature, teacher role is very important here. As friends, as we all know that India is a value-based country, or at the core, even though India is a multi-regional country, between values are imbibed in the Indian way of life, as every religion endorses the same set of moral values. An Indian child grow in a value-oriented environment. Improving human values is part of Indian family system and education system since ages through the stories and mythological stories. And after that, education, literature, and society continue to shoulder the uphill task of this instilling values and ethics next to the family. In this manner, literature plays a very important role of imparting the human values and ethics to the individuals. Literature is easiest way to convey values generation to generation. And at this moment here, I am remembered of the work of some Indian literary writers. Really, Indian writers in English are following the norms set by the our literary text, imparting human values through literature. One very famous name, Rabindranath Tagore, a multi-talented personality, is a poet of humanity par excellence. He is the champion of equality among all human beings and appreciate the humanity. We all know the work of his best ideas. In a song of Gitanjali, he writes, where the mind is without fear and head is held high, the knowledge is free, where the world has been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Here, Tagore as a free India, that heaven of freedom, where his fellow countrymen will live in a fearless environment with self-esteem, spiritual freedom, and human values such as universal love, peace, truth, brotherhood, etc. And all are attributed to that heaven of freedom. He dreams of India where caste, creed, religion, region, and language will not create strife among his countrymen. Even though Tagore was born in aristocrat family, he found himself amongst the common people and realized his responsibility as a writer towards the oppressed and the downtrodden people to the society. Then few others, other names, other writers' name. I'm just remembering that R.K. Narayan, Mulkaraj Anand, Raja Rao, Kamala Das are popularly known as the pioneer trio of Indian writing in English. They tried to bring Indianness in their writing in English by inheriting the Indian literary tradition of imparting values through literary text. R.K. Narayan depicts traditional values in his novel The Guide, The Vendor of Sweets, etc. Mulk Raj Anand is an Indian novelist and short story writer. We all know his name. Raja Rao's idea of India doesn't only find expression on the close circle of metaphysical detachment and unworldly ethos, but with all these, when writers are also there, we see Kamala Das. Kamala Das poetry is a passionate and universal expression of love, despair, anguish, and failure apprehended through feminine sensibility. Another name, Mahashweta Devi, depicts the social operations of the tribal people of Palamu, Bihar. She used journalism as a medium to express her views. Then, Night of the Scorpion by Nizam Ezekiel, we all know. We all know the name of this one. And apart from these, another famous composition of another work, Madam, you took the name of Shakespeare. One work of his, I just remembering, As You Like It. In scene number 7, he's saying here that all the world's stage and all the man and woman merely prayers. They have their existence, their entrances. And one man in his time play many parts. Here, Shakespeare rightly pointed out that all world is a stage and man and woman are players. We all are players and exit when their roles are completed. Hence, in this short lifespan, human beings are expected to live with human and moral values, and ultimately, life becomes more beautiful and fruitful. Really, literature and inclusive education can be effectively used to disseminate the human values and ethical values. I congratulate again event coordinator of today's session and all for successful session, and once again, I am grateful to be here with all of you, and I'm thankful to Dr. Ghanshyam sir for providing me as a chairperson. Thank you for calling me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm very delightful to invite Dr. Ashok Sachadev, Vice President, iSPELL, to have concluding remark and present the certificates. Sir, over to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm very delightful to invite Dr. Ashok Sachdev, Vice President, iSPELL, to have concluding remark and present the certificates. Sir, over to you.
Hello, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, Arun, you're audible, but probably Ashok sir might not be there. No, he is there actually.
Actually, Ashok, he's there for that.
Yes, he is there.
Yeah, ma'am. Let me ask Pramod sir. Now. Sir,
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you, Arun Kumar. Yes, I'm very thankful for the wonderful presentation here by Dr. Indrani ma'am. Really, all the participants and on behalf of iSPELL, we are so much delighted and pleased to listen your talk. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Please
you so much.
accept this as a kind of just token of appreciation from our side. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And iSPELL is my family. I've connected myself emotionally to this. My special thanks to Gansham sir, Anupama ma'am, and like Shalini ma'am, all those members, and special thanks to you, sir. You always stand along with us at any moment. Pramod sir, a special
Thank you.
thanks to you, sir. Thank you so
Thank you,
much for
ma'am.
this wonderful, beautiful certificate, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. The next certificate goes to the today chairperson, Dr. Shweta Bajpayee. Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful concluding remark, and you sum up in a very nice way. Please accept this token of appreciation from iSPELL. Dr. Shweta, ma'am. Yes, maybe ma'am disconnected. Then the
Audible, sir?
yes, ma'am, you are now.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for this honor.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, welcome. And this certificate goes to Mr. E. Arun Kumar, who compared the event in a very nice way and just manage all the communication. It's like sharing the feedback, having the just note on the keynote speaker, and inviting keynote speaker and the chairperson. And the way E. Arun Kumar just made his presentation showing his a kind of communicative ability. Thank you, sir. Yes. Please accept this token of
thank you
our
so much,
token
sir.
of appreciation. And in the next week, we have 106 Sunday Sahityik Satsang, which will be on memory, time, and narratives in women writings. And the keynote speaker is Dr. Shamta Chaudhary, coordinator of iSPELL. Please.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, over to Arun Kumar, please.
Yeah. At the outset,
Pramod, it was a wonderful
yes,
session, and it was really nice to listen to Dr. Indrani on various aspects related to English language and literature, and moreover, conducting this kind of webinar on every Sunday, and then providing space to our own members, and then knowing from them and listening to them is always wonderful, because for the past so many months we have been inviting people from outside And this is a kind of a webinar wherein we are asking the people from inside to go outside. So this is in and out kind of a journey of iSPELL, in which we are not only inviting people from our own EC, but at the same time, we are also providing opportunity to others also to come on the platform of iSPELL. So that's why I'm receiving many of the messages from Messenger, Facebook Messenger, that they would like to be on the platform of iSPELL. So let this kind of a fraternity grows, flows, and glows, so that in the future days to come, we can have many more people, those who can present their views and thoughts on various issues related to this. And as far as student-teacher relationship and as far as the future generation, the net citizens are concerned, we people need to understand one thing, that nothing can be replaced in the place of moral values. So we being the teachers, we being the preachers, we being the people, those who not only activate them, motivate them, ignite them, but at the same time unite them. So these are the basic aspects of teaching language and literature. And even in the era of Dr. Google and Professor Wikipedia, that's why the teachers are surviving. Otherwise, Professor Google and Dr. Wikipedia are doing wonders. But the teachers are not only doing wonders, but they are making the minds to think, rethink, learn, unlearn, relearn. So thank you very much, Dr. Indrani, for doing the honors on the platform of iSPELL. And thank you very much, Dr. Shweta Vajpayee also, and Dr. Arun Kumar also. Today's presentation was a kind of
Thank you, sir.
IAS
Thank you, sir.
presentation. So this is IAS presentation, because I means Indrani, A means Arun Kumar, and S means Shweta Vajpayee. So we have IAS presentation today. So thank you very much.
So such
Thank you so
comment
much.
could be given only by
Thank
you,
you,
sir. Wonderful. Thank you so much for this opportunity, sir. And I have, as I have told you, many more such things to come. And definitely, we all will stand together to grow and to promote iSPELL, sir, all over, not only in India, but outside world. Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all. At the outset, I'm very delightful and grateful to iSPELL and all dignitaries. Thank you all. I extend my gratitude to Capt. Ms. Dr. M.R. Indrani for her excellent session, which gave more information. Thank you, ma'am. I extend my gramercy to our chairperson, Dr. Shweta, who briefly brought out the language and literature. Thank you, ma'am. Next, I extend my gratitude to Dr. Pramod, coordinator, iSPELL, who made this webinar an excellent one and support us ever. Thank you so much, sir. I thank all the participants from various states to hear and to know more things. Thank you all. Last but not least, I thank entire iSPELL forum for trusting and giving me such a wonderful opportunity. Once again, I thank you all. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Arun Kumar. Once again, I am very much thankful for the participation and for the wonderful presentation of Dr. Indrani ma'am. But especially, I must express my thanks to Professor Ghanshyam sir, who has joined the event in the nickname of yes.
Anonymous always.
No, I joined earlier, Pramod. I joined earlier.
I was
but
sure, sir. I was sure because yes.
I was anonymous.
We
Yes,
always
anonymous.
sir, we always remember
So-
this remark,
Well,
sir.
icing on the cake, sir.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
once again, I must express my thanks to Professor Ghanshyam sir for his just graceful presence. Thank you, sir. And
Thank
also,
you.
Dr. Shalini is here. I am very much thankful for the presence. Thank you, Shalini ma'am, and Jayanti Balakrishna and Yogesh Sarode, all the members from different forums. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.